we're gonna start with challenge 9. That would be a access control issue. And over here we are gonna use Diva as per the levels 9, 10, 11. Today we're gonna try to solve all the three over here. So our major concern over here, I'm gonna need my Linux system. So over here we're gonna use our JEDEX as usual, but so we're gonna go to the mobile directory, and over here on the Diva we're gonna go to JEDEX bin file. So we can open this one. So JEDEX GUI and our file, which is Diva. And we're gonna search for some data's access control issue Android. And you can see access control issue P1. Okay, they have given the solutions over here. But the major concern we're gonna learn about what is called access control. Android penetration testing course. Yes. So they have given, as we have read in the very first lecture, if you remember, activities, content provider, broadcaster, receiver, services, just like this one. So you can see application, content provider, application, Android component. So we have already did this one because there were around four stages, which was your activities, your services, your broadcast receivers, and your content provider. So you can see they have activities. This indicate the UI and handle the user interface to the smart screens. Services that handle the background processes associated with the application. Broadcast receiver, they handle communication between the Android OS and the application over there. And the content provider handle the database management issues. So you should know about all the things one by one, as they have given the activities. What is the main objective of activities? As we have read this one, that in the previous section it was all about the classes, the public main function, the services which is running over there, the broadcast receiver, and the content provider. So today we're going to talk about the same thing. Just like you can see over here, activities and activity in a single focus in their user content provider. Same thing. This is nothing different. But the major important thing, how an application works in the backend process and how it communicates. So components of application should be accessed by other application. In some cases, Android application shares in resources with application. For example, we can make a call by sending an intent to give such an access. What is intent over here? You can see they have given a proper diagram for the developers. What is the main objective of intent? You can see an intent provides a facility for performing a late runtime binding between the code and the different application. It's make a communication with that. It most significant use in the launching of activities, the UI activities that we interface the mobile application, where we can broad thought of the glue between things. So over here they have given the action, they have given the data, and one by one all the things over here. So our major concern over here to understand how the content access control issue arise. You can see they have given one by one all the things over here. The host application should declare a permission. The shared component should not disclose any secret data. The component should not be threatened to user privacy. 3 tasks in the DOI application should be checked for insecure access of the component. In module, we can use browser. If you don't know the configuration files, you can see all the things online. So they are using browser over here, browser console connect. And they're gonna read about all the activities over here one by one. And we are talking about the main activity, the API credential activity, and the API credential activity over here. There are 3 access control, 3 activities and 1 provider. The most important thing to analyze all the components over here one by one. So today we're gonna start with the application. We can install browser over here, and it's all about view API credentials. So let's try it without a browser first of all. So over here, let's check if you can find any browser over here. Browser, GitHub. They have given step by step all the things one by one. So you can see one by one how to make the uses of browser over here. Otherwise, what are we gonna do? We're gonna download this one. So that's a new terminal. ADB connect and IP address. So we can see all we are on the server side, but the main objective is we're gonna read the source code. So over here you can see they have given activities over here. Access control issue. You can check one by one all the things over here, but the major important thing is to check the manifest file. In the manifest file, you will find all the things over here one by one. The access control issue. So we were talking about the just like this one, Android name application, which is your view credentials. This is your 1 and this is your 2. So our major concern, we're gonna look for all the possibilities one by one. And you can see over here, access control 3. But this is a normal part. We're gonna use the view credentials for checking if any other attacker can simply use it for outside of the network. So over here, let's try with the 9th one. You are able to access the API credentials when you click the button. Now try to access the API key from the outside the app. components of the hint. They have given a hint over here. So component of the app can be accessed through the other applications or the user if they are not properly protected. Components such as activities, services, content provided are drawn to this. We can see a normal thing. So let's try to view up here, and I can see this, and I can see the proper files over here by clicking the button. But our main objective is to fetch the data without interaction with the application part. So for that case, what I'm going to do, you can see we can access the API credential by clicking the view button, view API credentials. So our major concern would be we're going to fetch the data on the server side. For example, API credentials are accessible to the user. Now our goal is to access the information without clicking the button. So have a look on your Android manifest.xml file, and file series just associate with vendor API credentials activity. And we were talking about this one, API credential activity. See over here. So our major concern will be how an attacker simply, without any interaction, how he can simply get the information about those services. So in this scenario, what are we going to do? We'll try to fetch all the things one by one. See over here, they have given a proper function over here. If you notice, the other piece of code, the activity is protected with the intent filter. So as we have mentioned, the intent filter is basically used for communication with the two nodes, the two UI part. The intent filter should not be treated as a protection mechanism. When an intent filter is used when an application component such as activity, the component is publicly exported. It's publicly exported. It can reveal the data. For the same reason, the this activity is vulnerable and hence it can be invoked by the application from outside. For example, how we can do this one? You can simply check ADB shell, which is your AM, which is your activity manager, and start. And the API credentials that we're gonna look for. Our main objective is to find the access control issue on how an attacker simply without any interaction of the application he can execute and get the credentials data. So over here, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna copy this one. And we're gonna use our AD. Let's see over here on the application first of all. So I'm on the access control, which is your part one. So let's see. ADB -FN help. So I'm gonna use AM, and AM starts with activity manager. Okay, I think they didn't give AM over here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to use ADB, and we're gonna use the credential.api file to check the activities file if we can access the application without any user interaction. So you can see ADB shell, which is your shell on the server side, AM, which is your activity manager, and start. So what we're gonna do over here, we're gonna do ADB shell AM, which is your activity manager, and start plus the credentials. Let's try this one. There was an error. Starting intent, the main function, pkg jagger.sim.activity manager, activity not started, unable to resolve intent. Why this happened? Because this is an API file. This was a directory. First of all, this was a directory. Java.asim is a directory. On the API is a file over there on the server side. So we have to provide a / started. And we can see the application in a proper plain text without a human interaction. And if you search for the vulnerabilities in the Google, for example, in the HackerOne report, I'm saying, so bypassing access control check by modifying the URL intent application state, which is a custom API. Okay, this was an application. This was a different thing. We are searching for the Google Android application. So able to device credential lock. Okay, what we have over here. Able to bypass device credential lock, which is $100. Okay. Enable the device credential lock by the settings. I'm using fingerprint in my case. Test it to fix. Look, it's also using access control. Uh, if it works by closing the app and open it again. If this works, close the application again. Do close. The next step, make sure you are able to quickly start with the Nextcloud app. I put mine on my home screen. Now quickly open the app and press backslash and open the application. They have again one by one. And you can see this folder. This is a different thing, I guess. Okay, these are some activities over there. Some log files. You can try one by one all the things over here. Great. By the way, I tested it with the two devices, Nokia 7 and Galaxy S6. Access control issue arise in many ways. You can try to check one by one over here. You can see Twitter, they have what? $1,000. Okay, this was a different vulnerability. This is normal process scripting. And see this, they are using a file parameter to access the file of the server side. Ubiquitous, we are using ADB tool to reproduce local file access. ADB shell start -n, Twitter -d, and the file name. You can see one by one all the things. And we have a proper MP3. Let's save this one. Okay, they're gonna pop up an alert over there. Okay, this can be happen over there. evilzone.org. Cool, that works. The most important thing is to understand how the access control works and what are the different challenges. Over here, the major concern is to check. You can either use Droger to identify the activity managers as they have used app package information -a Java Diva. Run the application over there one by one and check all the possibilities. So over here, let's start with the application.